Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all. Greeting to all of us, and I hopefully we are all in a good health always. I'm the representative of Group 5. This time we'll present the result of our group discussion about implementation guidance and counseling service at school. Previously, I will introduce the members of Group 5, namely Arli Munawija, Dea Devia, and me, Lelita Trisuryani, and then Nur Khaliza Fikri. Alright, then let's go into the discussion of the material, namely, number one, definition of service in guidance and counseling, two, service and in guidance and counseling in school.
Baik, saya Arul Munijan akan menjelaskan materi pertama mengenai orientation service at school. A guidance and counseling activity is called a service if the activity is carried out through direct contact with the service target, client, or counseling, and is directly related to certain problem or interest felt by the service target.
Number two, service in guidance and counseling in school. There are a number of services in guidance and counseling in school. Number one, orientation service at school. Two, information service. Three, placement and distribution service. Four, learning service. Five, individual counseling service. Next, number one, orientation service at school. Orientation service normally guidance and counseling service that allow the counselor to understand that environment such as a school that the counselor has just entered to facilitate and expedite the role of the counselor in new environment. The purpose of the orientation service is for new students and for other parties, especially parents, to provide understanding and adjustment, especially student adjustment, to the new school environment. Likewise, parents, by the understanding the condition, situation, and demands of the school, the children will provide the necessary support for the success of their children learning. Number one, education system in general, current curriculum, teaching implementation, expected student learning activities, rating system, exam and grade promotion, existing learning, facilities and research such as classroom, laboratory, library, practice room. Next, supporting facilities, sport and recreation facilities, health service, guidance and counseling service, cafeteria, and administration. Next, teaching and administrative staff right and obligation of student organization. Student parents.
Okay, my name is Dea Devia. I will write the material number 2. Information service. There are various ways to write a material group orientation service, which include the following: A. Personal development information. B. Additional information. C. Possession information. And D. Information on family life, social life, this very socio, cultural, and the environment.
Okay, next, placement and distribution. The main function of guidance and counseling support by placement and or distribution service is the function of prevention and maintenance. There are various kind of material that can be raised through placement and distribution service, which include placement and distribution of student in school, class placement service placement and distribution into study groups, service placement and distribution into curricular or extracurricular activities, placement and distribution service to major or study program, graduate placement and distribution service, placement and distribution service into continuing education, and service placement and distribution into position job. Okay, next.
Okay, thank you, moderator. I am Nurholiza Fitri. I will read the material 4 and 5. For learning service materials that can be raised through learning service include the following. A. Introductions of students who have learning problems about ability, motivation, attitudes, and study habit. B. Development of motivation, attitude, and good study habit. C. Development of learning skill, reading, taking notes, asking and answering, and writing. D. Required teaching. A. Enrichment program. 5. Individual counseling service or individual. The main function of guide supported by individual counseling service is the alleviation function. There are several forms of approaches in existence that have been developed, including a psychoanalytic, existential humanistic, client-centered, and or clinical, gestalt, transaction analytic, A behavior, F relation emotive, G reality, the approach that will be described later in practice in clinical counseling.
That's all the result of the discussion from group 5 that I can convey, and I hope you can understand this material well. And I apologize if something is wrong. Thank you for attention. Greeting to all of us, and keep spirit. That's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.